Welcome to another segment of the new ADDCT Network Television Community Good News. And I hope that the broadcast that you're watching will bring about encouragement, empowerment, and just stir up the gift within you. I am so blessed and honored to have on the set with me Mr. Lawrence Triggs, Jr. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Triggs is the incoming president for the Baton Rouge Association of Brokers. And the entity tied in with the National Association of Brokers. So while we had some time to talk and discuss this plans for the Baton Rouge chapter and other people, I thought it would be great if we just hear from him what he wants the community to know, people to know, and just share your heart. How many years you been in real estate? First of all.
That's the experience since 1985.
Okay, it's a long time. It's a long time. So you pretty much focus on development,
Yeah,
right?
for the last 17 years.
Okay, awesome, successful with it. Well, congratulations on being president. I know this is not your first time. You were president before your second time.
1993 and now 2020.
Okay, all right. Well, I had the honor of serving in the Veterans chapter when I lived there. We were doing things to help people then, and it hadn't changed. We're doing more. So, Triggs, why don't you share your heart? What can people look forward to? The community, the real estate professionals, the realtors,
We are looking forward to doing this challenge that we have. Today, our homeownership rate, black homeownership rate, is at 40%. I'm really disappointed about that homeownership rate because back in 1968, when the fair housing laws were passed, we were at 40%.
Amen.
So-
Increase.
So we did have some increases, but we went back.
Okay.
We went back. So we got our work cut up for us. So it is our hope and our prayer that we are go around the state, starting in our city of Baton Rouge, we're going to do our very best to increase that homeownership rate.
So what's your first stop? Have you decided yet?
Well, we just came off a very successful real estate.
All right.
We had a great time. We had a great time real estate. We want to thank you for coming and being our speaker. I know in my installation, we had a fair housing workshop that was very informative. And we enjoyed that. We had a week of activities for Words Sleeping. We are so appreciative and excited about the direction and where we're going to take it from here. So we look forward to working with our local government, our state government, our national governments to shorten the disparity of that 30%. Because right now, let's say we are at 1%, white Americans are at 7%. So we have that
Wow.
disparity. And so it tells you right here, we have a lot of work to do. And it is our plan and our desire to work to minimize that gap.
That's a big gap.
It's a big gap.
You know, it's commendable that you all will commit at the realtors. We have been talking about democracy of housing for 75 years.
It's in our mission.
And still on the front line to continue to withstand the odds, opposition. They say, how do you eloquent? One bite at a time. So we can build communities block by block, one household at a time. You know, here on the new ADDCT Network Television, I just want to encourage the viewing audience to be mindful of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, the realtors, who are really passionate about making sure that you get into home ownership. I know years ago, I had an opportunity to be a certified housing counselor through the NARAB, the Realtors, the National Investment Division. And what we learned on how to deal with predatory lenders, how to educate people on getting mortgages, and we find, and that's such a need for that now, even more. So you have a development home and the communities that you develop to develop along with others. Because we're not just looking, the tunnel vision local, we're talking about national, right? So we're to develop the subdivisions with affordable housing. We're talking about going around the state in our conversation at lunch, you were saying about providing the housing counseling, first time home buyer seminar. So that's something that the viewing audience could look for, because sometimes people don't believe that they qualify and be approved to get housing. And the renters occupancy rate is so high. And now that rates and everything is just transitioning, it's all people like yourself that have the knowledge, know how to connect the dots, how to put those things together. So I'm really blessed to know that there's an old song in the church that said, I'm on the battlefield for my Lord. The realtors have been on the battlefield and the front line for 75 years before we both were born, right? And so why don't you share a little bit more about maybe the conversion rate on how that gap from 40% to 7% could be closed. I know a lot of it is through awareness, which is why I'm glad you came on, so we can let the people know there is an outlet, there are doors open, and there are experts as yourself and other realtors that can teach and instruct them on how to bridge that gap. So I know you attended, based on what you told me, the winter conference. What was it, San Diego? San Diego, and that's where all the lenders, professionals in the industry, the government come together and strategize. But there's a national commission coming up in Houston. So
August 1st, 26th.
okay.
And we are hopeful and we look forward to bring more opportunities of home ownership. That's so very much needed, and it is a source of generational wealth.
Yes, yes.
Our people, especially black people, we are behind the curve, and and it is our mission, understanding housing, and we are going to step up and stand out to bring education to the forefront to increase the disparity of home ownership, and we look forward to doing just that.
Yeah. You know, there's someone said recently, they really jumped and really, you know, a lot of crimes going on, and a lot of the criminals don't have the proper education. And what they told me was property taxes are used for schools. So if you win, you don't really have a voice on where the money is spent for the schools, for the education. So that's an incentive, I believe, for someone to say, hey, look, let me get some skin in the game and at least own one property or not two, you know, so that developing what, 4 flexes, we're talking about 20 units, 30 units, you know what? Don't think that you can't do it. Because you can. Don't just sit back and say, well, that's not for me. It is for you. And I'm just so delighted again to have the president of the Baton Rouge Association of Real Estate Brokers to come forth and say his heartbeat and the passion is to bridge that gap between 40 and 70%. Wow. That's wow, that's heartbreaking. You know, you said something else about generational wealth.
Yes, generation, try to promote it early.
Yes.
So that at a young age, our people will get in the mindset early, to get home. Uh, renting on the life provides no equity for you. So we want to change that mindset because real estate still carries wealth. And so we want to make that known. We want to increase the awareness of the generation wealth. And we want to pass that information along, starting with our millennial leaders to get them involved in investing and buying real estate.
You hit on something while you were saying get them at an age of college. Do you know how many businesses going to college to give the teenagers in high school credit cards?
Yeah.
They make it easy for them to get in debt so that they spend and they not have the proper budgeting habits, so they run their cards up, and then the credit score is affected where they don't qualify for housing. But if you're doing what this plan of getting into the colleges at that age, that's dynamic.
What we find is that students are coming out, they're graduating with debt. And as you say, it's easy to promote credit cards. And the students are taking advantage of it. But at the same time, they can't do that. We want to go to the school and try to reverse that. We believe that it is a curse because it is a hindrance toward owning a home.
Wow. Now, see, you have made a statement here, whereas I'm thinking about not only is it easy for them to get credit cards, it's easy for them to get cars. And so the car note just bumps you out of the type of house that you want, right?
You have that secret Range Rover.
Oh, God.
On
The car get in the garage.
no. So we got to change that. Again, we're at 40%. And so if we can go into the colleges, into the schools early, I believe we can reverse that and minimize that disparity for what we have today.
Awesome. Let's talk about the career opportunities in real estate. Let's talk about the other real estate agents that may not be aware of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. I know when I was active in real estate, I learned a lot from Mayrail University in real estate. And to have the proper knowledge and have the experts from the top coming into the setting and teach you and empower you how to be successful in the industry, I think that's priceless. So someone that's endeavoring to get into development of real estate, and they can get all of the training that they do through the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. And so the college campuses, the University of Real Estate, you mentioned the convention coming up in Houston in August. Can anybody attend that?
Well, it's
I know you're invested.
registration is going on now. And so if you go to the website, ADDCT.com.
When I spoke at your installation, NARAB is celebrating 75 years. So at this time, we know in Texas they do it big. Anyway, the opportunities for a career in real estate, the opportunities to be educated and empowered, the opportunity to make the generational wealth, your children's children possessing the land, right? Bridging a home, that's really good, but God, I'm living in the land.
No.
And so if they got land that's just sitting there, it'll be a good collaboration if you can put affordable housing on that land. In fact, I know it used to many years ago, there was a faith-based entity there, and they developed a large community of houses and businesses and stuff, so.
Well, many black churches still own facilities, so. And many of the churches are looking to free homes, homeowners to first ladies and for the veterans.
Wow,
And so,
that's a prize in itself.
yeah. Absolutely. And as you know, the homeless population has increased. And so the churches are looking to expand and explore opportunities to provide homeownership, and the realtors that stood up and standing up to the plate to be that expert in that field and to assist and provide for them.
That's awesome. Well, that's a good feel. That's good news. That's good news. So whatever we can do to help, we will be there for it. ADDCT Network Television, let me know we're local television going into particularly 55 million household limits, increased to almost 2 million. And so it's a platform that we get to send things out. So we look forward to doing it.
We appreciate the ADDCT Network. We believe that it will be helpful in getting the word out. Getting the word out to communities that we sometimes overlook. The realtors usually serve in the urban communities, so there is an entire community that we may not reach. And we believe that this network will assist us in reaching those communities. So we certainly look forward to the partnership.
Well, I tell you, we'll probably talk about it, schedule permits in the future. You talk about the community run around in my head with all the gentrification that's going on. You know, and it's community, and people just take over it, but that's generational wealth.
Yeah.
Let's hold these properties. So anything else you want to say before?
Well, the realtors, again, our mission is to market to housing, and I'll always think. And we want to continue along that road of democracy and housing. The challenges are there and they are real. We have to advocate so much to fight the different adversaries that are attempting to minimize our ability to own homes and decrease our numbers as far as the home ownership rate. But the data is real. We have the state of housing in Black America, and that data shows that the rate is what it is, and we have to be mindful of what we're dealing with, and we have to really get angry about it in a good way, and we have to get this.
Well, that is so powerful and so. Strictly super welcome to God and chalice. And we can get together and know that it's all about housing and the generation that we get some Boston and they we mentioned earlier it's on the screen the thing that Baton, the website of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. Look up a realtors in your area, and if there's not a listing, we contact the national office and brings this network to make sure that people are realtors that has a heart and passion to help you get into housing, even a sale. All of the forefront going on. Again, that's another problem. The loss mitigation, you know, that can go for
I'll see that variety of problems. And that is another issue of itself that really just attempt to find solutions for. We have homes, houses sitting there. And so we're going to work with our local government and to explore opportunities and ways to put those homes, those houses back into commerce and make them available for homeownership. We want to increase wealth in our community instead of decreasing wealth by allowing the life to expand on.
So if someone wanted to reach out to you, what's your email address, and you make sure that contact information or all the matching?
Yeah, my name is Lawrence Triggs. My email address is lawrencetriggs@ADDCT.net.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time. I know you're busy, so we appreciate the opportunity. Stay tuned to the next segment.